Jake Ludington here at CES, and one of the interesting themes that I found this year is cameras that shoot video and photos underwater. And Sanyo has their newest announcement for their Exacti line that is a fully submersible up to 5 feet video camera that also takes still pictures, along with Pentax, Olympus, and a number of solutions that you can put around any camera.
Roxio Easy Media Creator 10 not only provides all the tools, but also the know-how and creative inspiration you need to easily create, share, and enjoy your digital media. Imagine great things. Now create them. See what it can do for you.
First up on the cameras that we're going to cover here is the Sanyo Exacti VPC E1, which they have here floating in a tub of water. And I'm going to demonstrate with a card that I put in the camera what the footage looks like that you'll be able to see underwater. Now, this has a maximum depth of 5 feet. It shoots 6 megapixel stills with an ISO up to 1600, has 5 times optical zoom. Video resolution is 640 by 480, and as you can see here in the underwater shots, with a bright light shining over a tub of water, the image looks pretty great. Hard to say what this will look like in the real world, but with some fairly vibrant colors, this looks like it might be a sure bet for taking snorkeling in shallow water. The Olympus 1030 SW has some of the most aggressive features in the bunch, with a rating up to 33 feet deep, 10 megapixels, ISO 1600, a 3.6 times zoom, and 640 by 480 at 30 frames per second video in an AVI MJPEG format. Now, as you can see here, I did a very mild test in an aquarium. The photos didn't come out worth even showing off in this video here, but I have every confidence that this thing actually would work okay underwater. Panasonic didn't have any cameras to show off, instead just showing us the guts, and their camera goes to 5 feet, has 10 times zoom, 720 by 480 MPEG-2 video. Still image capabilities of this camera are not even worth mentioning. Pentax has been doing underwater cameras for the consumer market longer than anybody. The Optio W30 is updated this year to 7 megapixels. It has 3 times optical zoom, maximum ISO of 1600, and it goes to 10 feet deep. Although talking to one of the marketing guys at their booth, he seemed to think that they could do the 33 feet that Olympus can. They just aren't willing to say that on the box just in case. Video 640 by 480 MOV format MJPEG, a format I find frustrating if you're not willing to convert it to another format for editing in places like Windows Movie Maker, but you can work with it. One of the cool features that they have is for an extra $20 you can pick up this ruggedized case to put around the camera. The camera itself is waterproof, but this adds a little extra protection and may be well worth it if you're going to do some snorkeling. Last up in the list of cameras is this camera from Viewpoint, which says it's rated at 50 feet, but what stands out more is what it can't do. This has no optical zoom. It's got a 5 megapixel maximum and a max ISO of 200. 640 by 480 video in AVI format at 20 frames per second. All in all, if you're on a budget, I suppose this could work, but if you can afford the tickets to Hawaii, you can afford a better camera. One final option for underwater camera recording is to use something called a Deca pack, which is a housing for your camera, and they seem to make most of them for small form factor cameras, but this year at CES they were showing off a SLR version, which I tested out with my Canon HV20. As you can see in the shot, you can see through the viewfinder, through the plastic. There's hard plastic that protects the lens and leaves you enough flexible room that if you've got an extending zoom lens that the lens can move freely. Same sort of thing holds true for the smaller form factor ones as well. And the key thing here is it's got finger holes so that you can control the various controls for your camera inside. In an ideal scenario, you'd of course be underwater with the camera, not holding it in a bathtub as I'm demonstrating here, but you get the general idea that it can go underwater and shoot some video. That wraps up the list of choices for things that you can do underwater from this year at CES. Hopefully you'll go out and shoot some great underwater footage and share it somewhere online that I can link to later. Jake Ludington's coverage of CES 2008 was made possible by Roxio Easy Media Creator 10.